Do you want to increase brand awareness, attract new patients immediately and consistently, and become the go-to practice in your community? Then learn how to do ground marketing. That's what I'm going to be teaching you in this series. Let's dive in. Hosting open houses. Welcoming the community to experience your practice firsthand. Now, this is going to be the complete playbook. So we're going to dive into it. We want to set the tone of your open house. But first and foremost, an open house matters. And this is why. Because you want to create a feeling that guests have stepped into more than a dental office. They've stepped into a place where they belong. As Will Guidara says in the book Unreasonable Hospitality, hospitality is about making people feel seen. And the open house isn't about chairs, scanners, or procedures. It's about designing moments where every guest feels noticed, valued, and cared for. When you succeed here, your practice becomes more than a clinic. It becomes part of the community's social fabric. So let's dive into it. And we're going to have hospitality always first and foremost in the front of our mind, okay? So think of the open house as a carefully choreographed welcome, not a random gathering. You want to have music, food and drinks, and a greeter type of flow. I'm going to explain it right now. Your music, play light conversational tracks at a comfortable volume, enough to energize, but not to overwhelm. Food and drink, place refreshments away from clinical areas so the environment feels like a home gathering. Use local partners, bakeries, coffee shops, wineries, so guests taste the community in your space. And in part 2 of this episode, we're going to be discussing how to partner up with these locations so that your event can be that much more better. The open house can be incredible. And then your greeter flow. Train greeters to immediately learn names and share a personal detail when introducing guests to the doctor. So like, hey, Dr. Lee, this is David. He just opened a cafe down the street, right? It transforms a handshake into recognition. Now, you want to have your culture on display. Will Guidara from the book Unreasonable Hospitality, he reminds us the greatest gift you can give someone is to make them feel they matter. So let your culture prove that. Here's some things you can do. Conversation hook uniforms. So staff, your team, right? They're going to wear shirts or name tags with fun facts printed on there, right? You can say, Michael, ask me about my rescue dog, or ask me about my favorite snack. These cues will spark instant connections. So have your team have that. And then the generosity wall. Showcase your team's volunteer work, local school partnerships, or patient thank you notes. The unspoken message we care about more than teeth should be here. Okay, so that's why it's important you're out there ground marketing way before you do your open house. I'm going to talk about that a little bit further down. Now, if you're pediatrics, your kid's first strategy, you want to have this in mind. Or if you're a family practice, have this in mind. Children often drive the emotional memory of the day. Parents don't remember the scanner demo, but they remember the place where their child laughed. So have interactive fun. Maybe face painting, balloon animals, or a giant toothbrush challenge or a game. Have reciprocity games. Give kids smile coins to trade in for small prizes at checkout. It's play for them, but it's loyalty for parents. And then have a vibe anchor moment. Every open house needs a moment that lingers. Will Guidara calls this a one more thing moment. It's a delightful surprise just when guests think the event is over. So if you're going to have a little talk, right? Maybe make a brief, heartfelt welcome from the doctor. This building may look like a clinic, but tonight it is our living room, and you are always welcome here. Have something like that. And then have a surprise. As they leave, hand guests something unexpected but thoughtful. Warm cookies in branded bags, maybe a single flower for each family, or a handwritten note. This ending cements the story that they're going to retell. Okay. And then have an emotional anchor. When woven seamlessly into the open house, this will ensure guests leave thinking, hey, these people care, they're fun, they see me, they see my family, and I trust them. So as an introduction, this frames the open house not as a marketing tactic, but as a hospitality experience. From here, every tactic, meaning stations, your offers and giveaways, your follow-ups, it's going to flow out of this philosophy, which is see people, surprise them, and make them feel like family. So an open house is not about selling. It's about letting the community experience your care before they're in the chair. So now that we have these points in mind, we have your vibe anchor moment, the kids first strategy, your culture on display, hospitality layering, meaning the music, food, and drinks, right? Everything, all this is in mind. Now we dive into the strategy. But these are your core values that you need to have when you're going to do an open house. So always make sure you have that in mind. This is obviously found in the ground marketing course. So if you want, go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below if you're not a member, and join the ground marketing course. And you can find the core values and everything we're about to discuss written down, ready for you in the ground marketing course. And I'd love to see you in there. So now we jump into number 2, trust and transparency. These are the non-negotiables. So in dentistry, fear thrives in the unknown. The secret is to replace mystery with mastery, to let people see what usually hides behind closed doors. So have things like this. This is all going to build trust and transparency. So when we talk about having stations, like, hey, these are the stations that you need to have in your open house, this is what I'm talking about, okay? The sterilization theater, fear into fascination. So fear of infection is primal. Instead of telling people, hey, you're safe, let them see it with their own eyes. Have these things in the sterilization theater, a guided tour. Create a 5 to 7 minute sterilization theater micro tour. A team member walks guests step by step, dirty, clean, and then sterile. Have visual props. Display sealed pouches, color changing indicators, and autoclave logs on a wallboard. Guests don't need jargon, they just need proof. So have these visual props. Scripts that stick. Use words like, hey, hospitals use the same validation steps we use daily. Let us show you how it works. And then have psychological hooks. Fear melts when curiosity is satisfied. Attendees leave thinking, hey, this place is obsessed with safety. I can relax, which is a good thing. So one of your stations can be the sterilization theater where you're performing and doing this. The next one is visible technology. Turns curiosity into commitment. People buy with their eyes and hearts long before their wallets. Technology, when touched, transform abstract trust into concrete confidence. So have these things in mind. Hands-on scanners. Let guests see their own teeth in 3D. The moment they spot a hairline crack or wear facet, they'll self-diagnose. The next thing is have digital x-rays and screens. Compare analog versus digital side by side. Speed, clarity, and radiation reduction. It reframes cost into care. Have alignment stimulators. Offer before and after overlays. Attendees will take selfies, email it to themselves, and start envisioning treatment. And then have a conversion bridge. Use the line, hey, we've shown you a glimpse. Do you want the full scan? Let's book it. It only takes 20 minutes. And they can book it on the spot. That's your second station, your visible technology. Third is comfort demonstrations. This turns dread into ease. So most patients don't fear pain. They fear discomfort, loss of control, or embarrassment. Your job is to prove you've already solved those problems. Have these things in mind. Tactile stations, weighted blankets to touch, noise-canceling headphones to try on, Netflix and iPads options to scroll through. Show them that. Have visual reframe. Place a poster titled Dentistry Redesigned for Comfort with icons like warm blankets, custom music, nitrous, stress balls, and hand signals. Have a mini talk. Do a 3-minute demo. Mention something like, hey, dentistry is not about holding still and being helpless. It's about comfort choices. You can pick the blanket, the music, even the signal to pause. Mention that. And then have emotional outcomes. Guests start telling themselves, hey, this isn't scary anymore. This actually sounds easy. That's the outcome you want every single person to have from this comfort demonstration. So those are the 3 stations and why it matters. Trust is the ultimate currency of an open house. Think of the Charles Green formula. Trust equals credibility plus reliability plus intimacy divided by self-interest. So have these things in mind. The sterilization theater, that's going to build credibility. Visible technology, that proves reliability. Comfort demonstrations, that creates intimacy. By avoiding pushy sells, you minimize self-interest. And the result? Well, guests stop dreading dentistry and start envisioning themselves in your chairs. When you anchor your open house in these transparency rituals, fear is going to dissolve, curiosity spikes, and comfort reframes the entire experience. You don't just gain patients, you gain believers. Now that we have that in mind, the trust and transparency and how we can start creating our stations for this open house, we want to segment our audience. This is crucial for an open house because this is how you funnel and target and hyper focus on every single person and what they're looking for in your practice. And that's how you create a patient. So we want to tailor their experience so everyone has a moment. A successful open house is never one size fits all. Every attendee should experience a moment so tailored to them that they leave saying, that part felt like it was made just for me. The key to doing this is segment your audience in advance. Then create micro experiences that speak directly to their motivations. This is how you're going to do it. If it's families, turn parents into advocates through their kids. Parents decide with their heads, but remember with their hearts. And their kids are their hearts. So create a kids zone, a craft table where children make toothprints or decorate paper teeth with glitter and stickers. Have an entertainment hook, a balloon artist, face painting, a puppet storyteller, reading something specific about teeth. Have a parent loyalty trigger. When their child laughs, smiles, or proudly shows off a craft, parents lock in the memory. They'll retell, hey, my kids loved the dentist open house the other day. And then your conversion angle. Offer a cavity-free club passport. Stamp it when kids come for cleanings, and parents will schedule to see their child level up. And the kids will love it. It's gamification. So have something like that for families. Now, next is cosmetic-curious. Turn vanity into vision. These guests crave transformation but need a visual nudge to cross the line from curious to committed. So have things like this. Whitening shade checks. Use shade guides with instant before and after mockups. Smile simulator station. Let them see a digital preview of aligners, veneers, or whitening. And then email the mockup so it lives in their inbox as a daily reminder. Have a photo corner. Ring light selfies labeled future smile loading. And people share what they aspire to, which becomes free marketing. And then conversion angle. Make sure you say, hey, want the full transformation scan? It only takes 20 minutes. We'll book it right now. And then book it. That is the cosmetic-curious patient. Health first adults. This group sees health as wealth. Show them you're not just fixing teeth, but you're protecting lives. Have things like this. The bite stress check. Simple articulating paper and a mirror and say, this shows where your teeth are overworking. Have a sleep and airway corner. Display simple infographics about sleep apnea, clenching, or acid reflux signs visible in the mouth. Have an oral systemic connection wall. Posters linking gum health with heart disease, diabetes, and longevity. That's crucial. And then your conversion angle. Hand them a wellness report card they can bring back at their first exam. This is going to create urgency and personal ownership. And then your seniors. Older adults fear losing independence more than teeth. Show them dentistry protects dignity. Have things like denture spa demonstrations, ultrasonic cleaning demo, plus free fit checks scheduled. Implant education corners. Use simple models showing stability versus loose dentures. Have transportation perks. Highlight rideshare partnerships, shuttle services, or priority morning slots. And then your conversion angle. Hey, we help you stay independent. Let's book a no-cost fit consultation right now. And that's it. And then your audience of employers and HR, corporations, right? Employers don't want more work. They want less. So give them tools that make them look like heroes to their team. Things like benefits decoder one-pager. A simple cheat sheet explaining common dental plan gotchas in plain English. Or just have something explaining in plain English like you're explaining it to a third grader about their benefits and insurance and what they can get. That alone is extremely helpful for the HR managers and employers. You can also have an employer spotlight wall. Feature their business on a wall or slideshow. Hey, we're proud to support local employers who support their teams. Schedule lunch and learns. Make it effortless. Hey, we'll bring lunch. You just bring your team. That's it. And your conversion angle is give HR managers an emergency access card pack for employees. Reciprocity ensures they funnel staff your way. So if they have these emergency access cards, the employers or their HR, and they hand them out to people who need it on the job at that moment, that's crucial. It's an emergency that they can see you. Immediately, they'll funnel these patients to you. And this works. Each segment gets a moment of micro recognition, an experience engineered for their identity, not a generic audience. Guests aren't going to leave saying, hey, I went to the dentist's open house. They leave saying, hey, my kids had a blast. I saw my future smile. They cared about my overall health. They helped me stay independent. They made my job easier. That shift from I visited to I experienced something personal is what guarantees conversions. So segment your audience. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper on how to do that in the most clever way possible without them knowing it either. Now, here are some must-have elements that you need for your open house. Every unforgettable open house rests on these 5 anchors, non-negotiables that turn guests from spectators into participants and participants into patients. These elements aren't random. They are crafted moments of impact designed to lower fear, raise trust, and spark action. And it's 5 things. It's the sign-up station, the signature experience, the hospitality touch, the photo corner, and the giveaways or the swag kits. These are going to be your must-have elements. Let's dive into the sign-up station, from visitor to VIP. Now, your doorway isn't just an entrance and an exit. It's the conversion engine. You want to be placed near the door, but framed like a VIP checkout desk. Guests pass it naturally as the last stop. The tools, you want to have iPads, maybe clipboards, QR codes if you want, all branded, and an A-frame sign that says, reserve your comfort bundle today, exclusively for open house guests. Now, the psychology behind this is by placing this station at the exit, you create a natural decision point. Leave empty-handed or leave with something exclusive. And the script you can say is, hey, we've held a handful of open house slots. Would you like me to reserve one in your name before you go? You can even put a number to it. Hey, we have 10 open house slots left. Would you like me to reserve one in your name before you go? Hey, we have 10 comfort bundles left today. Would you like me to reserve one in your name before you go? And at the same time, you can pick up the freebies on the way out, and they're right there at the table. So the sign-up station, remember, it's your conversion engine. Do not leave the exit or the doorway just open and free. That is crucial prime real estate you need to take advantage of. Number 2 is the signature experience. Your open house must contain one signature wow moment. The thing people talk about, dinner that night, right? Dinner the next night. And here's some options. It can be an intraoral scanner demo, a sterilization theater, a veneer aligner simulation. And the execution is you want to keep it short, not too long, just 3 to 5 minutes. Visual and interactive. Guests should be able to touch, see, or hear something surprising. Here's an example. You can run the scanner across just 4 teeth, then pull up a 3D model. Guests will gasp at seeing microscopic wear and tear, and that gasp is the moment they start self-diagnosing. Now, this is guaranteed to work because without a wow moment, people will forget your event. But with it, they retell your story for weeks. Have a wow moment. And in the ground marketing course, I provide you with many examples of wow moments that you can utilize in order to have the perfect signature experience in your open house. And even you can utilize these wow moments in consultations and so forth so that they are triggering their memory, right? They are thinking about this, not just at one time and then that's it, but they're constantly thinking about it. And then obviously that leads to a scheduled appointment. Now, 3, the hospitality touch. Food, drink, and music, they're not extras. They're signals. That's a, hey, we thought about you. So here's the thing. Music, I have an upbeat conversational background playlist at 60 to 65 dBs, right? So not too loud, but not too soft. Just the right amount. Food and drink, have local bakery treats, fresh fruit skewers, infused water, coffee carts. If you want wine or champagne, but keep everything bite-sized and away from clinical zones. Your staff, their roles. One team member should float with a tray offering items personally because hospitality is given, not self-served. So one person has to do this. Now, the psychology behind this is when people are comfortable enough to snack and chat, their defenses drop. And that's what you want. You want them to feel comfortable. 4 is the photo corner. If guests don't post about your open house, it didn't happen. So the setup. Have a playful backdrop with a ring light. Add branded props like giant toothbrushes or future smile loading signs or crowns, right? Anything fun. Instructions for this photo corner is place a sign snap a photo, tag us, and win a whitening kit. That's it. That's all you got to say. So have a sign somewhere that says, hey, snap a photo, tag us, and win a whitening kit. Now people are involved in the photo. They're taking photos, but now they're also sharing it. And we're going to discuss in part 2 of this episode on how you can capitalize, not just having the event, but from this point on, making it grow on social media. Now, why this works, the photo corner. People rarely share a dental office visit. Give them a reason to, and you turn attendees into free micro influencers. And then finally, the swag kits. Never let guests leave empty-handed. A branded kit is a physical reminder of your experience. The contents you should have in it are maybe toothbrushes, whitening, floss picks, comfort items like lip balm, maybe even a mini blanket, or you can just be travel size kits, which are hygiene kits, right? And the packaging should be small, attractive, and easy to carry. And the psychology behind this is the kit is not about the toothbrush. It's about extending your hospitality into their home. Every time they see it, the open house replays in their mind. So have these 5 things in mind, right? The giveaways, the swag kits, the photo corner, the hospitality touch, where you're talking about the food, the music, the signature experience, the wow moment, and the sign-up station. Now, the signature experience in the ground marketing course, like I said, I have 10 guaranteed wow moments for open houses in the ground marketing course. Beautiful moments that you can create even just without an open house, but that's in the ground marketing course. And you can find that. Just go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below. You'll find not only strategies for an open house, but strategies on everything, how to get into specific businesses, how to get new patients within this week, how to create pipelines, referrals if you want to get into schools, daycares, senior homes, apartments, corporations, small businesses, large businesses, the Costco across the street or the Starbucks next to you. That is all found in the ground marketing course. Exact scripts, step-by-step strategies, and instructions on how to do it. So I'd love to see you in the ground marketing course. So just go in the show notes below and click on the first link in the show notes below and check out more information on there. Now, those are going to be the 5 must-have elements that we just discussed. Now, let's talk about offers and conversions. An open house without conversions is just a party. The goal is to transform warm feelings into scheduled visits without breaking trust. The key is to package offers as a gift of hospitality, not discounts. Done correctly, guests feel like they're being thanked for attending, not sold to. So here's some things to keep in mind. We're going to go over 3 things. The conversion principles that guarantee action, the bundled offers that are crafted for each segment, and a bonus layer. It's going to be a surprise add-on. So let's discuss the conversion principles that guarantee action. Number 1, you want it to be time sensitive. This creates urgency. So all offers expire in 7 to 14 days. That's it. So you can say something like, hey, these open house thank you bonuses are just for the guests tonight, just for you. And I'll hold them for you through, and then mention the date. After that, they disappear. This urgency removes, hey, I'll think about it. And it moves people toward, yeah, you know what, I'll reserve right now. And so they reserve. So have time sensitive urgency in mind. Always have a deadline or always have a cutoff date. Number 2 is capacity limited, scarcity, right? So we discussed time sensitive urgency, now scarcity. This is framed as held slots, not endless discounts. So an example of this is, hey, I've set aside 12 comfort bundle appointments exclusively for open house guests. And unfortunately, once they're gone, and that's it. Scarcity triggers fear of missing out, or FOMO, which accelerates decision making. It helps them to schedule on the spot right then and there. So have urgency, have scarcity, and then your hospitality positioning, reciprocity. Present every offer as a thank you gesture, not a deal. Here's an example. Hey, because you gave us your time tonight, we'd like to give you something back. And then continue. Hey, because you gave us your time tonight, I love to give you something back. I set aside 12 comfort bundle appointments exclusively just for you, just for the open house guests tonight. And unfortunately, once they're gone. So I'd love to give it to you. We'll hold them for you through this specific date. But after that, they disappear. What's the best contact number to reach you at so you can get this comfort bundle? Boom. And that's it, right? You kind of combined all 3 into one and presented it that way. But at the same time, this frames booking as receiving a gift, not making a purchase. Because remember, you're saying thank you for your time tonight. So that's the conversion principles that guarantee action. The next thing is the bundled offers, crafted for each segment. So the comfort bundle, This is the Ease into Dentistry Starter Packet, I guess you can say. It includes exam, x-rays, comfort kit, right? Meaning specific blankets, music, all that stuff, and a $50 treatment credit. Now, the psychology behind this is it positions dentistry as comfort first rather than fear first. It's in the name. And you can say something like, hey, this isn't about getting into treatment. It's about trying us out with zero stress. We'll even give you a $50 thank you credit toward whatever you decide next. And that's it. No stress, no hassle, and they're coming in your chair. The next thing could be the whitening jumpstart, the instant confidence lift. This can include $50 off chairside whitening, a free take-home kit for the first 15 bookings, and so forth. Now, the psychology behind this is cosmetic-curious guests crave visible quick wins, and that's what you'll be providing. So you can say something like, hey, want to look 5 years younger in one visit? Tonight you can reserve your whitening jumpstart and then continue to schedule them. The next one's the employer VIP, the Make HR Look Like a Hero Pass. Now, this is going to include priority scheduling for their staff, plus emergency access cards for new hires. And the psychology behind this is employers want to be seen as helpful, not hassled. So you made them look good in front of their team. And the script for this is, hey, this isn't just for you. It's for your entire team. Reserve your employer VIP pack and we'll do the heavy lifting for your staff. And that's it. And then finally, the pediatric smile pass. It's the parents can't resist offer. It includes free upgrades at the first cleaning, automatic entry into the cavity-free club where they get prizes, recognition, bragging rights. And the psychology behind this is parents love preventative care and kids love belonging to a club or something like that. And the script is, hey, your child gets rewarded for staying cavity-free and you get peace of mind. That's what the Smile Pass is all about. And you continue. Now, those are the bundled offers. Tailor it to however you want. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. If you don't want to give x-rays or exams, you don't have to. If you don't want to give $50 off chairside whitening, you don't have to. But make sure it's something appealing that will make them want to sign up for this bundled offer. So those are going to be the offers and the conversions and the scripts you're going to utilize. Now have a bonus layer, a surprise and delight add-on. This is from the book Unreasonable Hospitality. Always have a one more thing twist. Example could be the first 10 people to book any bundle receive a handwritten thank you card or a gift card to a local coffee shop or a specific prize just for them. This element shocks with generosity, turning a transaction into a story. Now, all this works because urgency shrinks decision timelines, scarcity boosts perceived value, hospitality framing avoids the cheap discount vibe, segmented bundles make every attendee feel like the offer was built just for them, and surprise add-ons trigger retelling. Hey, we booked at the dentist open house and they even gave us coffee cards or a restaurant card or something of that sort. With this structure, 25 to 40% of attendees will book on-site before leaving. Those who don't will carry your offers home, framed as gifts expiring soon, making post-event follow-up effortless. We've gotten into the nuts and bolts so far of how the open house should look, how it should feel, the type of stations we're going to have, what the team is going to be saying, the conversion points, where to be set up. We've discussed that so far right now, right? How the open house looks. But I know you're probably wondering, okay, that's cool, but how are we going to get these people into our open house? How am I going to get a lot of people coming in here? Do I just send an email to my patients, my existing patients? What if I don't even have new patients and I'm a startup and I'm about to open? That's what we're going to be discussing in the next episode. We're going to be talking about the promotion plan, how to guarantee a full house. This is all ground marketing specific. It's beautiful. And then from that point on, we're going to be discussing how to capitalize that even more on social media before you even have your open house. So people on social media who see you want to come and join. Trust me, your open house will be packed. And then we're going to run you through it. We're going to tell you minute by minute exactly how the open house should roll out, where your team should be, where you should be, how you're going to audience segment them, what happens if people come in late, do you have to restart a speech or do all this other stuff? Everything's going to be planned out. I have all that for you in the next episode. So we're going to be discussing the promotion plan in the next episode, how to capitalize on your social media and digital marketing. And then we're going to show you an example, how your open house should run. Open house can last until about like 90 minutes, meaning like how the performance and your team and you should be performing for about 90 minutes. Open house can last longer, right? People linger and things like that. But I'm going to be discussing from 0 seconds all the way to the 90-minute mark exactly how the guest should be feeling, how you should be performing, how your team should be performing, and how you will convert. And then we'll discuss the follow-up sequence as well. That's all going to be in part 2 of this episode. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, follow along with us by joining the Ground Marketing course. Become a member. You can go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below. It's going to take you to a page and you're going to see a ton of testimonials, videos as well of practice owners and team members who are in the Ground Marketing course and the results that they're seeing. And I want you to see those results too. So make sure you go in the Ground Marketing course, become a member, but go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below. You can follow along, especially with part 2 of this episode. It's going to be incredible. And you're going to have all the strategies at your fingertips as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.